Right. This is so awkward. Why am I talking to a camera by myself? Right, well, so here's the kit list that I'm going to be taking for anyone that is interested. So we got the Snug Pack Bergen, which you can see is full up. Just give you a size reference. So yeah, this is basically what I'm taking. It's a bit of a behemoth. It's very heavy. So, as you can see, it is a bit of a beast. Probably, I think I've got it down to like 35, 40 maybe. But yeah, very heavy. So, just to start off with, just to show you the layout, we have the top pack here. We've got our roll mat, we have the tripod for the camera, we have our ice axes, and then down the bottom here we've got our crampons. Might move the crampons, I'm not sure yet. Trouble is obviously the space, and because they're sharp I don't want them puncturing the tent, so they're down there at the moment. But here we are, we've got the tent as well. So this is the Svalbard PU1, which comes in this lovely little pack. Normally you could take the tents out the pack if you'd be doing it, but it sits so nicely on the back of the Bergen that I don't think I need to. So tent, and that's the Svalbard PU1. We now have a tripod, which I've had for years. I don't actually know what brand it is, but as you can see, that just clips onto the back there, folds out like this. There you are, just attached onto the gimbal head. So that's the tripod. Over this side we have the Grivel Grivel ice axes. I think these are the Nepals. There you go. Grivel Nepal SA. For most of the trek, most of the climbing, I'm just going to be using them like this. So there's a sharp point on the bottom. There's a little wrist strap. It's up to you whether you use the wrist straps. I mean, I'd suggest it, but up to you. But most of that walking is going to be like this, traversing up the mountains. For a little bit, probably be using them, but it's more as a backup, just in case. We shouldn't be doing too much climbing because I'm not taking any ropes or harnesses. Reason being, this pack is so heavy that the chances are I wouldn't be able to climb with it anyway. It would just pull me off the side of the mountain. So that's that. I'm not taking a inflatable mattress because, I mean, whilst you get the R rating a bit higher, I mean, if you get an R rating of 4, which, if you don't know, is the insulation rating of the mat, it's more for comfort realistically than warmth. I mean, it's going to keep you a lot warmer because you lose a lot of your warmth through the ground, especially when the insulation's squashed. But when you're on snow, sleeping on snow, pretty well insulated because of the snow anyway. Plus this is so light compared to the inflatable mats that, you know, I'm trying to keep the weight down as much as possible. So one roll like that. Down here we have crampons, which are Grivels. I think these are the G10s. As you can see, I've wrapped them up. That's what we do. Just got, the way I've done it is so the strap doesn't snag. But if we just undo that, pull that through. Just undo that strap there. The good thing about these crampons is that they fit my Scarpa Phantom 6000s, and they also fit these boots. Which boots I take at the time, it's going to depend on how heavy the snowfall is, because there's going to be a lot of hiking. You're right, Rose. You having a swim? There's going to be a lot of hiking, so if there's snow everywhere, then I'll take the Scarpas, because they're mountain boots. It's going to make the climbing a lot easier. If there's, you know, just the peaks of snowy, I'll probably take these, which are Hunter Pros. Get them off eBay for like 80-90 quid. They're rated down to -50, -40, -50, something like that. So the way these crampons work is you set your boot to here. This little toggle comes out. You set the boot size. You then obviously put your boot inside that. Cramp on the back. This little hitch comes around to the heel and locks the heel in. Which, if you've got mountain boots, is really handy because they leave you a little notch. On these boots, obviously, it doesn't. So it's something to think about. This then comes around through the front here, like so, and then round to the buckle. That then ties your boot and shoe in. These are the G10s. I think they do G12s now for the Gravels, but these were really cheap, new as well. Yeah, so I got these. So that's the crampons. Just give you a better look at the ice axes. As you can see, you can use this to burrow out. This is for like self-arresting if I start to slide. Probably not going to be doing much climbing with these, otherwise get one with a bit more curve in it so you can get some leverage on it. But like I said, point on the bottom there so that you can push it into the snow. And generally speaking, if it's you know, a bit of a lesser angle, you're going to be walking diagonally. It's a lot easier. You're not going to get the crampons stuck on your trousers, etc. So that's that. Show you the tent. The Nordisk is the company. The model, oh, where's it gone? Is the Svalbard PU1. They do a new tent, which is a bit lighter, but I got this on sale. It's rated to like 70-mile-an-hour winds or something like that, and it's going to be helpful for when I actually go to Svalbard. And no, the name wasn't the reason I bought it. So that's the peripherals. So we'll get onto the clothing now. So this clothing, obviously, I'm going to be wearing this. It's not going to be packed in here, but I've taken out the food and replaced it with the clothing so that I could bring it down but not look like an absolute muppet with bright red ski trousers, jumper, etc. So first of all, we have the jumper. This is made by Nimsday. You probably saw the patch on the front there. This is kindly bought by my mum and my sister for my Christmas present a bit early, so I can go with it. Super high quality. I think that they retailed at £250 for this. So full thermal layering. If you want a bit more information, you can go to the Nimsday website, or Nimsday. As you can see, very snug fit. I think it's Polartec insulation. Fur outside, pockets if you want to use them. This is basically what I'm going to be climbing in, even in the low temperatures, because you know I run pretty hot. So I mean my clothing for photography is obviously very thick, and I'll get to that in a second. But when I'm climbing and I'm moving, my body temperature rises very, very quickly. And one of the things that you don't want when you're climbing or going to locations where it's very, very cold is to sweat, because if you sweat you'll get damp, and if you get damp then it'll start to freeze and your body temperature all of a sudden drops. And it's very difficult to get it back up again without, you know, lighting fires or something like that. Because obviously if you start working again you'll sweat more. So full breathable layering on the inside, so hopefully all that sweat we're getting rid of. As you can see, the line goes down there, very fluffy and lovely. The hood as well, tight fitting wrap round, so very, very good if you need to wear goggles and such. As you can see, very snug fitting, encases everything. If you're going to wear a helmet, it's obviously going to be very comfortable. So that's that. like I said, this if you did watch the story, this kit isn't for hiking. You know, I'm going there to take pictures of the animals and the landscape. I'm just doing all the peaks and the charity stuff because why not? I love climbing. I'm not, you know, not a massive fan of indoor stuff, but yeah. So that's the fleece, thin layer. When I go, I'm going to have a thermal underlay, top and bottom, a spare thermal underlay inside. I'll have a thermal shirt, then that, and then what? I'll have this. Hold on. Before I get to that, we'll do the trousers. So, as you can see, very bright. Black in snowy conditions, you look like a rock. If you're stupid enough to wear yellow, nobody's ever going to find you. If you wear black, you just look like a rock. So it's very good to have a contrasting colour. I really like black because it's cool, but realistically, if I need to be found, red is the colour. So these I bought years ago for skiing. These are salmon. As you can see, thin. They are waterproof. They have an inner liner here, so that you can put this inside your boot and then wrap this over the top. This stops snow coming up and coming in, stops any rain coming in. Very helpful, very, very light. Fantastic bit of kit. If you can still get them, buy them. Don't know what make and model they are. Sorry, they're salmon as a make, but don't know the model unfortunately. But very, very good. Got them reduced. Yeah, if you can find them, they're fantastic. Here we come to the Parker fleece, which is going to go over the top of everything when I'm taking pictures out there, because there's going to be a lot of standing around, a lot of doing nothing. Something to note with this Parker is it's not waterproof. So if you're going to buy it if you do decide to buy one for around here, as soon as it starts raining, it is going to get through. Mine's a synthetic wool, so you will still have the thermal value to a certain extent, which is the reason I got it. But yeah, I mean, they do, this is the military version, sorry, the Air Force version from America. They do I think it's there's a civilian version. I think it's the same model, but it's just civilian. But this is the one I've gone for. As you can see, oh, by the way, when you buy these are bigger, the sizes are bigger than what you should think, because you're meant to be wearing loads of clothes and then this goes over the top. So, you know, you're not going to wear it with a shirt, basically. So if you do get this, get a size smaller if you want to wear it like that. But yeah, otherwise, just get a normal size, put layers on underneath, and you'll be good. So this is a N3B Parker. This is an Air Force version. You can pick them up for, I think, about 120 quid, brand new, as you can see here. There you can see that. So this is an N3B, medium size. Got synthetic fur on the outside, you've got synthetic fur around the rim. And what this does is it creates a snorkel. If you don't know, the fluff on the outside is it's designed so that when you have wind, it buffers the wind and creates turbulence, so that you don't get it as much, you don't feel the effects. I shall show you. It is a big jacket. But these things are rated to, what are you doing, Rose? These things are rated to like -30, something like that. As you can see. So if it was windy or cold, put the hood up. And you can go snood snood. So that's what it's for, basically. You can also roll this back, but that's what it's designed for. This is Arctic kit. It's not your day-to-day stuff, but it could, I guess, be used like that. very good jacket, very warm, big pockets. You know, if you want to put your maps in here, hand warmers, anything like that. When I'm only going to be using this really to take pictures because it is going to be so warm. But you can see top pockets, so if I was, and they are deep top pockets, if I was using the bag, or sorry, carrying the bag with this, I can bring my arms round the straps, put them in here, and it just brings a bit of weight off my shoulders, brings the bag in a bit. But everyone's different. So that's an N3B Parker. Fucking absolutely fantastic jackets. But like I said, if you're not going to be using it in the Arctic, you're better off buying the civilian version. They're a bit better waterproofed, I think. Or sorry, you can waterproof them a bit better, but if you're going to be using this for what I'm doing, yeah, US Air Force N3B Arctic Parker. So that's that. Oh, almost forgot. Snood from Nim's Day. So, what we got next? In fact, actually, I think I might set up the tent, show you around, and then I'll get the rest of the electronic equipment out because it's not very nice ground around here. So yeah, I think I want to do that instead. So just quickly, I thought I would show you this. This is the tent construction. It's a dual line tent, which means that it has an inner and then an outer cover. It's constructed with 2 tent poles, so one there, one here. It's a tube bivvy style, but basically this is the inner side. The reason I like it is due to the ventilation and the moisture. So hopefully, in the cold conditions, when the outer layer gets condensation, it will drip onto this and then run off, and it won't get me wet on the inside. But that's something that I'll talk about a bit later. I just wanted to quickly show you how it's constructed. So tent peg either end, either side of the tent poles, which pulls the form, as you can see in there. I mean, this is it's good and it works for me. I like it. Some people that's a deal breaker, but for me it's pretty good. So yeah, just quickly wanted to show you that. Just wanted to quickly show you the tent with the outer layer on it now, so you can see. Oh, done that bit ski whiff, haven't I? So you can see what it is, how it's constructed. So I've shown you the inner skin, so I'll just quickly show you the outer skin. As you can see on the back here, little clip. So this outer skin literally just throws straight over the top. You bring it down, just pull that off. So you're going to slacken these, pull it down onto your clips, and then tighten all the way so that it's nice, tight and secure. You've got these lines for the rope, sorry, for your tent pegs. So as you can see, just undo that. Yeah, that's it. So you undo that, and as you can see, you've got a little metal toggle. You just pull that like that. There's no point in me setting that up because it's not windy. I'm not sleeping in it tonight, but it's just worth showing you. So just quickly do that up. That's it. So you've got a position there, position on the front here, position there. The door is formed with 2 tent pegs either side and a Velcro zip like so. So we can just do that. I'll just open this up so it's a bit easier. So as you can see, the inner liner there is a vent on the front here. There's a vent on the rear. We do have, I'll just unzip this, turn the light on. We do have a lovely big opening here, but also this door is dual, so you can see the mosquito net there, which is going to be very handy in Scotland during the summer times. So you can still use this tent. Bit heavy duty for summer, to be honest. Maybe March or something. Right, let's get in the tent. I'll show you the rest of the kit. So this is the inside of the tent. Just quickly show you just how much room there actually is, which is not a lot. That'll be there. That's basically it. So just about fits me, but I've got headroom to actually sit up in here, do some bits and bobs. There's just enough room on the side to get the bag in, but that thing gets heavier each time. So something just to show you. I'm going to be using old school map reading because I enjoy it, I guess. But this is a Garmin. This is a Garmin GPS 67i. It's a new one. It's quite expensive, but the reason I got it is that it has a really good battery life. It does connect to your phone. You can do waypoints with it. So on my phone, on an app, I can set all the waypoints, the paths, etc, etc, and then upload it to this, turn off my phone and use this solely. It'll also, if you pay money, redirect messages to here, I think, or contact people or something like that. Oh no, sorry, no, what you can do is send text messages from this through the satellite communication, but it does cost money, or you get a subscription. But when I'm sleeping, that's going to be up here. So that's just going to sit up here, and that is basically so that if I get into serious trouble, boom, it's here. Just flip the side off, get the SOS button, which I'm not going to press. I'm not going to go into too much detail with all my kit because realistically, I'm just showing you what I've got. If you want to go out and do this sort of thing, you should do your own research. But this is just my stuff. So I think we'll just quickly skip to the cooking. So, oh, get that down. So this handy little doodad here is a pot, as you can see, and it comes with a little gas bottle. Boom! Look at that. So just flip the top off. This little attachment here. This is MSR, by the way. I can't remember the model of this, but this is, I think, the Pro version. But basically what you do is you just flick out these little feet. See it? Yeah. They just flick around like so, like that, like that, and then we screw it on pretty quick, as you can see. And the reason I got this particular model, and by the way, I know I'm about to do this in here, do not do this in a tent if you're out camping. There's a serious chance that if you cook inside the tent, you could gas yourself out, pass out, and yeah, potentially cause yourself harm. Not only that, you could set fire to your tent. So don't do this, all right? But you let loose the gas here. So there's a little key, as you can see, and then there's a little striker on the side here, which sets an ignition. I prefer this because it means I don't have to, you know, if my hands are really cold, you know, you don't want to be like trying to start your lighter, get it going. You just want to be like big thick gloves, screw that on, flick the switch, nice and easy. It's pretty good, pretty quick to boil. As you can see, pot straight on the top, perfect. What more do you need? It's quite dirty, isn't it? Obviously, if you do this, don't cook it with this on the bottom. This is the metal bit that goes on there, yeah? Don't cook it with your pot. This is for eating. Also, lid, put it on there. You can do it. It will help boil the water quicker if you do have a lid. It's just something to note. It will stop the water evaporating, which cools it down. So yeah, if you do have a lid, definitely worth doing, especially if you're melting snow. So that's that. Just disassemble this. Always make sure the key's off as well. Just just quickly pop this away. It's probably a good representation to show you how quick you can set up and then put away. That goes in there. So this handy little doodad, quite good, eh? Right, quickly pop this. I do recommend putting the caps back on these. Some people don't. I personally do, just in case anything gets in there. As you can see, everything fits away pretty darn fast into a nice little... I am going to keep using this. I know it's extra weight, but it's minimal extra weight, and it just keeps the lid on and stuff from going flying everywhere. So that's that. You see, nice tiny little package, fits perfectly in the Bergen side pocket, straight in there. Boom, perfect. On the side here we have gloves. So these are just skiing gloves. These are the thin thermal layers, very good for climbing, so they're good. And then over mittens, again, can still climb with them, but obviously not, you know, grab hold of rocks and stuff. Here we have medical pouch. A lot of people take these, the first aid out of the pouches. I don't. Reason being is if you've got someone that's injured and you can't get to them to give them first aid, you can throw this to them because it's in a pack. It's red. They're going to see it. You're going to struggle to throw bandages to people that are out of reach. I'm just saying, the extra weight of the bag could be helpful. Plus, you know, you should always take stuff like this, really, because you don't know what's going to happen, especially if you're out there and you're at least, you know, 3 or 4 hours from a pathway or something like that, or up the side of the mountain. It's handy to be able to sort yourself out so you can at least survive the night. So, medikit down. Thermal flask. This isn't the one I'm going to take. It's huge. The reason I've put it in there is just for weight. I've got one that's half the size. A litre of water is enough. Yeah, self-explanatory really. Also, cold environments, thermal flasks can be the difference between you dying of hypothermia and you surviving, because they can raise your temperature back up. Oh, raining out there. Keep the kit dry. So, what's we got in there? Right, bivvy bags, very helpful. Stuck on the side of the mountain, you've got a sleeping bag in there, you've got a bivvy bag, they're waterproof, they're windproof. Should I show you? You want to see? Yeah, I'll show you. So, this is a very thin one. I also have a poncho in here. So, one's for walking, keeping dry. One is for sleeping, keeping dry, and or surviving the mountain. So, as you can see, sleeping bag shaped. It enables you to sleep out in the wild without a tent. Essentially, that's it, that's the top end. So, once you do it like this, get your sleeping bag, push all the way down, all the way to the bottom, nab it, pull it all the way out, straighten it out. This particular one is a snug pack. This is a Special Forces one. You can get the side zip like this for easier access. It does come with the hood. Very, very helpful if you're caught on the outside. You know, if you're heavy rain, super high winds, you just can't set a tent up. You know, you're caught in a whiteout, you just don't have the time. Very helpful. Definitely save your life. It's also good, you know, if you know you're going to be taking pictures, you are sat in one area for a long time, you want to like snuggle in, you don't want to set your tent up because then everyone will see you there. very good. You know, you just jump in this fully clothed, fantastic. Waterproof, windproof, the lot. As you can see, by the way, when you're storing stuff like this, don't fold things up, scrunch them up. I know that goes against some people's OCD, but if you fold things, you'll create weak points in the waterproofing along the fold, and eventually that will give way. So amazingly enough, if you scrunch, it will last longer. So as you can see, a lot of this stuff's easy out, easy in. That sounded horrendous. I mean, you can get it out. No, I'm just gonna leave it there. So that's that. I think that's that for that side pocket. So that's basically going to be our water and bivvy, and obviously, you know, storing gloves and such. So before we get into the main bag, let's just go into the top. So on the front here we have goggles, very helpful. High winds, snowing, stick the goggles straight on, boom, makes it a bit easier. Self-explanatory really. I'm going to be probably taking some Valon glasses, because my eyes are pretty sensitive to bright light, and when it's snowing and you've got bright light and you're constantly looking down at the snow, climbing hills, you can get snow blindness quite easy. I doubt that'll be an issue up in the Highlands, but like I said, my eyes are pretty sensitive. So right, so the poncho. This poncho is a snug pack poncho. The reason I got it is because it goes with the bag, and it's big enough to go over you and the bag in one go. So the poncho will go over both of you, as if the bags are light. That's the reason I got it. The Highlands is pretty unpredictable. You know, it could be snowing one minute, the next minute it's fucking raining. So a lot of this, you know, like I said, when it's cold, if you're wet, you die. It's one of those. So the aim is to stay as dry as possible, and that includes not sweating. So in this pouch underneath we have camera cleaning equipment. We also have a flint, very, very useful. It's funny, a lot of people don't know how to use these things, so I'll give you a quick demonstration about setting fire to my tent. I rough up one of the sides like this, and then you see the key has some teeth on it. You're not trying to spark it the first time you strike these. You just want to drag it, and you want to get little bits of swarf out into the pile of shavings or whatever you're trying to light. So you want to get loads of those out, and then I use the flat side like this on there, and then push it. Oh shit. And then push it along, and so the teeth will create grooves. The flat side will strip those grooves off. You end up with a very, very big spark, and it will set fire. Spark up the swarf as well. Makes it a lot easier to start fires. I see a lot of people not using these correctly, but that's the way I do it. So yeah, something to note. So we got that. We got various camera cleaning equipment. It's not really any point in going through any of this, because it's to clean my cameras. So that goes in there, easy access. It's all waterproof, so there's no need to really have it in a waterproof sack. By the way, this bag is lined, so it is all waterproof, but my camera gear I will be putting a bin bag around as well. So, power bank. I think this was like 20 quid. It's 5,000 milliamp hours. It's enough for one charge to charge, on one charge to charge pretty much everything I have. Obviously I've got to prioritise the GPS up there, but that's pretty low power. It's got a big battery in itself. But very good to have for all the equipment. We have a little pack here for SD cards for the cameras. We have batteries for all the cameras. This is for the GoPro, so this is quite a handy little doodad. It's a charging port, but it can charge 3 batteries at the same time. It's USB-C, so this to this, nice and easy. One thing I'm going to take that I haven't got here is the drone. I'm going to be taking a DJI Mavic Air, the original one, because it's lightweight. So, camera equipment, we have a Nikon ZF. Love this camera. It's got old style buttons, takes black and white pictures, also colour, 4K recording. It's just, I love it. Really good for landscapes, really good for portraits. It's just great. It's got a 50mm prime lens. It's just, yeah, I love this camera. I take it everywhere that I can, really. It's great. So that's that. For the wildlife photography, we are going to be using this beast, which is a Nikon. So this is a D800. If you can't afford a D850 like myself, even though I did just get myself a ZF, but at the time I couldn't afford a D850, so I got a D800. It's not the E model. The E model doesn't have the layer over the sensor. So this is slightly less sharp, but yeah, great camera body, that is. The lens is a Tamron 150x600. This is the G2, that's the one that you want. All my nature photography stuff that you see on my Instagram, which is RJM Nature _, so RJM _nature. All the pictures pretty much that are taken with this. All the landscape stuff is taken with that. I don't really upload my landscape pictures that much, so I try to keep the channel a bit more, you know, animal pictures. People seem to be a bit more interested in that. But as you can see, this lens is a beast. If you see anyone, you know, other nature photographers like Morton Hilmer, he uses that lens. He uses the new bodies though, but like I said, for the money, bang for buck, the D800 is a fantastic camera body. This is a professional lens, and I mean, I think I got it for £700. I think this lens. That was a few years ago. They might be cheaper now. The body I got for 400. So I mean, it's still a lot of money, but you're not paying like £2.5 just for the body, and then, you know, a further what would it be, like 1,500 quid for a Nikon telescopic lens. So bang for buck, this is the best setup, in my opinion. So yeah, that's that. Right, so to power all this stuff when I'm out there, solar panel, 28 watt. It's from a company called Big Blue. Open it up, you've got a little pouch here. Comes with clips so that I can clip it to the back of my backpack, let it drape down. Very helpful. As you can see, look at that. Full sun, it can charge that in I'd said probably like 3 hours or something. But it's going to be on the go as soon as the sun comes out, just to keep everything topped up and charged. Batteries are life for this trip. You know, all this equipment, this is the reason I'm going. I want to take pictures, that's why I'm going. It's not a race. I'm not going to be taking silly risks. Well, I will be taking silly risks because it's fun. But yeah, we need to keep the batteries going, so it is a necessity. Here we have our folder. This is for map reading. The reason that I'm going to keep the map in here is because it is waterproof. I don't have to have it in my backpack all the time. I don't want to have to keep getting this backpack off so that I can read my maps. If it's raining, it's just a pain. Have a map bag. They weigh nothing. It's just worth it. Especially if you're doing 40-mile treks. You know, you're going off path, off trail. Get a map. map bag, very helpful. Currently I'm using this for work, so as you can see it's like full up with stuff as well as the maps. We got a compass on the top here. Orientation of the map, north folds upwards, all right? So when you open the map, boom, north is this way. These are your grid lines. Don't need a ruler. That's just for work. You take a compass, okay? If you need to give coordinates, I'm not going to tell you how to give coordinates actually, because to be honest with you, if you're going to do stuff like this, you need to know this stuff. So go do a mountaineering course or go do a navigation course or something. I'm not going to start teaching you how to do this, but one thing I will tell you, north, find your north line, okay? Very easy normally to find because the writing will be the same way, all right? Like this, orient yourself so that the north hand on your compass is the direction of the map. In this case, north is over there, north is over there. So like I said, north line, north hand, orientate. Oh, camera just switched on and off there for some reason. Yeah, this pack's really good. It's again snug pack. I know you're seeing a bit of a theme here, which is all snug pack equipment. The answer to that is it's good equipment. It's priced well. It's field tested, and like I said, this isn't a hike. This is more like, I guess, an expedition. And so this equipment is, you know, I need it to work. I need it to work properly. I'm going to be navigating maps. I do have the GPS as a backup. But I'm going to be doing everything through here. All my routes are planned, where I'm stopping, but everything changes. If you do get one of these, it's got an inside pouch for your other maps, I guess, or notepads or anything like that, any field equipment that you might use. It's a bit more military oriented than work, but like I said, I like this kind of equipment. It works for me. Everyone's different. That's the map. So, thermal layers. Cotton, not very preferable, but like I said, this is going to be dry equipment, so when I come to sleep in here, I will be stripping off, putting dry equipment on. My wets will go into a different pack. That's something I'm not really going to explain. Spare socks. One more pair of spare socks. The reason being, socks for life. If you're on your feet, boots and socks, it's everything. It's how you're going to travel. You need to be comfortable. Everything else just sucks. So, onto the sleeping bag. The final part of this. Oh, something to note with these backpacks, the snug packs, they have two steel rods that go down the back here. It is removable. I think it's better. It is more weight. I know some of you hikers are going to be screaming at me because of the amount of weight. Honestly guys, I'm going there to fucking do something, you know, it's kind of like a job, but it's a hobby. I don't want to damage my camera equipment. This steel rod will stop my back from pushing into the camera lenses, upsetting everything. I know it's more weight, you can take it out if you want. Personally, if I was hiking, I wouldn't take this bag. It's not what it's really for. It's more for doing operations. So, I'll just move all this out of the way. Some people like to take the sleeping bag out of the compression sack. I totally understand why. Personally, I'm not going to. Reason being is that this is one more layer of waterproofing. It just gives you that backup in these cold conditions. The outside of this is called a compression sack. Like I said, like I just said, some people will put these into your bags. Some people put these into the bag without the compression sack. They literally just get the sleeping bag, force that sucker into the bottom of the bag. I personally think that takes up too much room. It does mold to the bag a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I need this to stay dry. You know, that's very much life or death. If it's a cold environment, the sleeping bag can be everything. It needs to be dry. So, this is again a snow pack. Can you see a bit of a theme going on? This is the Softy 15 Discovery. It's super thick insulation. It's rated to -30, I believe. I think the comfort rating. So if you buy a sleeping bag, there's a comfort rating and then there's a survival rating. Generally speaking, the survival ratings aren't true, but the comfort ratings are a good guide to go by. It's normally like, I think most sleeping bags that are like cold weather are about -5 rating. You know, -10 you'll survive, that kind of thing. I think this is a comfort rating of -15, and then a survival rating of like -25 or 30, something like that. Anyway, pull this out. Super thick, as you can see. Something to note if you are going to these cold environments, you know, extreme environments. So as you can see, nice and thick, expands right out, nice and warm. Side opening zip, like so. Look at that, lovely. Sleep there now. It does have a hood, so you can close yourself in. Something to note in these cold environments, which I was just about to say, is that do not close the opening on this over your mouth and nose. All right, do not have it so it's just your eyes showing on these with the hood, because what happens is that you end up with condensation inside the sleeping bag, and if it's super cold outside, and it will be super cold in the tent, if the condensation on the inside of this will freeze and it will drop the temperature in your sleep. Very bad. Do not do that. Do not cover your mouth inside the sleeping bag, if that makes sense. And what I'm trying to say is that if you're inside the sleeping bag here, all right, don't get this toggle all the way up so that your face is in here, and have this over like this, and then just your eyes going. Your breath has moisture in it. It will go into the inside of the bag. It will cool down the bag very quickly. And yeah, I mean, if you're sleeping, you know, just in your thermals, there's a very good chance that you might freeze to death in your sleep. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it can happen. Just something to note. So I think that pretty much concludes everything. There may be a few more changes, but ultimately that's it. So yeah, that's what I'm taking. The next video, I think, I'm not sure actually, maybe a training program. Be quite helpful to show everyone what training I'm doing, and yeah, that's it. So see you on the next one.